All right? Good. If not, let's get better. Welcome to the Financial Literacy Part 7. I'm your man, Jazz Man, bringing you some of the information that's going to build you up and make you better today than you were yesterday, striving for tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, New Legacy got some things coming out to help you. Want to work with the community members to be a new legacy's at hand. Come on, y'all. Welcome, y'all. The mission of the New Legacy Group is to bring together people of all cultures and backgrounds to educate, appreciate, and empower them to build internal assets and then total revenues, create positive content, develop human resources, and maintain strong networks. We do this to build an overall healthy, positive living environment. We work in intellectual cohesion, thus paving the way for a healthy commitment to building platforms and implementing programs that would be valuable to the communities we serve. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, the question is, what is your legacy? Woo! Today's topic, y'all. I do apologize. I know that music just hits you sometimes. I'm in a musical, mode right now. Today is a good day. Getting ready to go and have some fun with the brothers, the brothers circles and brothers that, we're coming together to just understand each other and see what the next plans are, the next steps are. And this is very important to us as brothers to know about the money. You can't do nothing, operate your house, keep your house, or do anything without, a financial income or income coming in. We definitely have those dualities, income and expenses, but we want to make sure that we use the information to make the best decisions possible. This is very important because we go out and try to get things in life and lending and, people are, as predators out there trying to get you for your numbers, it's about the numbers game. How much money can we bring in? And now some people have it by any means necessary. And those are the predators who are not being honest. Those are the predators who are taking advantage. Those are the predators who are they're careless and not caring for the people they serve. So making sure that you get the information to look out for these people. Now, I don't know them all. I can't give them by name, but these are some of the things they do in order to, so that you can identify. But on regulations to lending, there's regulations. Everything again, chaos before order. It was out of order. They were doing certain things, trying to, build credit and everything. Trying to build credit. What's that word? Not yet. I'm doing my live right now. I'm gonna call you right back. I'm on financial literacy. Leeds dinner. Okay, I got you. Okay, I got you, bro. All right. So the lending process, these loans, you want to make sure that you understand these loans, but I didn't have any regulations on me. It was doing anything with the loans, taking the number of interest rates was high. Now the government steps in, FDIC steps in and said, we have to put a regulation on you lending money, how these loan companies lend their money and, making sure they have guidelines they must follow in order to, protect the consumer. Sometimes, I'm teaching you this part because this is not the route you want to go. Okay. But if you do, lending is a loan process. It's a process where you got to get finance for it. They're going to check your interest rates, charges for them, and make sure that now, they're going to be higher if your score is low. Your credit score is very important. Your credit score is very vital to anything you do when it comes to lending or finance. If somebody going to bat for you, okay? Now, you want to make sure that you understand that you have the credit is important to this. I'm gonna tell you why. There's 5 things that the credit card companies look for to grant you credit. They look at your credit score, credit history, credit payment history, how many lines of credit you have, and other factors. Now they say they can't discriminate against you. The ECO, the equal what is it called there now? The ECOPA, this agency makes it sure that you have no discrimination during the loan process. They can't discriminate on age. They can't discriminate on, race and all that good stuff on this side, but they can discriminate based on your credit score and your credit worthiness. Now, when it comes to credit, How the companies do it, this is what information is important. When they ask you or they survey you and say the male, are you male, female? Now they put you, okay, and how many women are using our product? How many males are using the product? What age range are these people using our products from? What color group are they using? So now we can see who uses the most credit, who should we sell our products to, who should we now go after, because you don't want to sell a good product that you don't like. Companies like Maybach do not advertise on television because they ain't trying to sell to the average person. The advertisements are on levels. If think about the cars you buy, okay, you got, let's say Toyota for instance. Their luxury brand is Lexus, right? That's top notch, top of the line, right? Then you got Toyota. Toyota is their second, their midline. That line is, it's not a Lexus, but it feels like one. And then if you can't afford the Toyota brand, go them down and get you a Scion. They have a level for your every budget or every credit range. So as they're lending this, they are now have to tell you about the stages of this loan, the stages of this process. Okay, what are your terms of this loan? How much is the interest rate? How much am I paying at the end? And now, if they don't give you all these numbers, you can't make the best decision. You say, this car says $6,000. Now my charge is $15,000, $16,000. Where all this extra money come from? You got to make sure you be able to discern and find out, if that's the best deal. Because hold on, why would I pay more for the car than the car's worth? And in this lending, the lower the score, the higher the rate. Now, let me give you an example of rating when they do this. I want to get a $5,000 loan. The interest rate is about 12%, maybe higher. Now, take that 12% of 5,000. That's an extra $600 they're gonna add on to my loan price. So this loan that I got cost me $600. Now, in some loan cases, think about this. You got so much interest. Interest is so much you don't never, when you make a payment, you will never pay, or make sure you're paying on the principal and not just the interest, because you'll be. I told y'all about what happened with rent to you or whatever, home to rent or rent. Hold on, this only costs $6.99. I want to do 90 days saving cash. I want to pay this. I want to pay this in 90 days so that I don't have to worry about these charges. Because you pay, the price that went up 3-4 times. What is it worth? By the time I get it off the lot, guess what? It went down another. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about those things, you got to determine that you have all the information to make the best decision. All right. You got to make sure you have all the, and this agency gives you the process on how to file complaints and understand how the process works and how the government is going to cover, or the FDIC rather. It's a federal agency. And you want to make sure you understand that. And correct. Okay, that is the Equal Credit Opportunities Act. It protects the consumers' rights throughout all the stages of the loan process. It promotes the availability of credit, the stages of the credit worthiness of the applicant without regard to the factors below, such as race, color, all those things. They don't discriminate against you legally, but legally, they can't discriminate against you, but they can discriminate based on your credit and the scores and those things. Okay, so make sure you keep your credit together, and they can't say nothing what color you are. So the lending laws, there's a couple of acts that they passed in Congress and through the legislation. The first one is the Fair Credit Act, which requires the lenders to notify you if you are denied of a loan. So if they deny you of a loan, they're going to tell you why they denied you of a loan. Based on these determining factors, they have to tell you why. And that way you can dispute any information that they provide to you. And then these lenders must notify you in documentation if you request to dispute anything on that you see that's out of order. They have 30 days to respond, and they also have to tell you why they denied you any credit. Okay. And you would like to say again, documentation speak louder than conversation. So give me the reasons why, because just in case you got the wrong number, somebody else got a different set of numbers. Where you get your numbers from? Let me verify let me check and hold on. Let me make sure I got the information correct. So this is my man, this is my credit. Let me make sure I'm together. Hold on. Let me ask this question. Then there's the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. So this is for now when you get them annoying calls, trying to get the debt from you. They done sold the debt pennies on the dollar. I just had this happen. I had a bill from Cleveland, Ohio, my light bill, my gas bill, from Dominion, East Ohio, which services the Enbridge here in Lima. So now when you come back, that bill is still there. So I got to now restart the service. So now that bill cycle, now they, now they're gonna condense it together on this one bill to now get their money, boom, restore the service, right? So now once that's done, the debt that the collection agency, they gotta notify the collection agency, or else they gotta take this off the credit report. Because that thing that be lingering on your credit report, could be points that you're missing to increase. So when I came, into Finley, I got, I was, in position to pay off anything that I could not get off the credit report. Let me go ahead and buy pennies on the dollar. You bought it for $500. I want to pay. I got $190 right now here. We wipe it off fair and square. That way I ain't got to go through the paperwork. We ain't got to, here, let's wipe it off. And then within 21 to 30 days, I got a 23 point increase, and now it's off my credit. And it's the small things. And I'm like, wow, only thing that holding you back is now the bills that you created. Let me alleviate the bills that I created, or reduce the bills, so that now, okay, I can afford. I don't have to live above my means. I know where my shortcomings are. So that way I do not have to, I know what my shortcomings are. I know how to budget. I know how to spend. I know what days I'm not coming out. I know what the mission is. All right. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act informs you the reason, allows free credit reports, dispute information on the credit report, process of having access to credit report. Now they got to tell you how did you determine this factor? What agency or bureau did you use? What was the determining factor? What all information made in my credit history? What made your decision based on this? Give me that information so I can see where I need to work at, where I need to focus at. Hold on. If they say 99%, I know it wasn't based on my payment history, because I paid. It says 100% payment, on time. So you got to make sure you check that stuff and stay on top of it, because you never know. You might have an old phone bill that came back and somebody done bought the debt from when you was in high school. All right. The next is the Fair Credit Billing Act, which is going to make sure that you require the creditors to promptly credit payments. Because used to be, when you used to mail your payments in, they didn't get them for 3 days and everything, and they didn't post them right away. No, post that money right now so they can see the credit in their account. Because now, if it's paid by check, they can see this is a pending or processing payment. All right, because now you want to get credit for it, so that as long as it's in your process, that means your payment is on the way. You can't send me no mail and talk about you ain't get your payment or something like that. No, give me the documentation. It'll speak louder conversation. Fair Credit Billing Act. All right. It also allows you to withhold payments on defective goods. So you mean tell me you sold me this defective product and you want payment from it? Now, under this law, you can withhold your payments on defective goods. Note, the Electronic Funds Transfer Act and the Truth in Lending Act also have the method for correcting billing errors. For example, a charge for something you did not buy. Okay, dispute that. Sometimes now what they're doing, they're getting tricky too. So since you're gonna since you're gonna dispute that charge, we're gonna make you get another card in 7 to 10 days. We're gonna cancel this card out, get you another. We want to make sure it ain't fraud. Okay, no problem. I do that, but I know I ain't do that. I ain't buy that. So take it up off my charge. A charge that is different from the actual purchase. Wait a minute. I thought they said, now you go to the bar last night. If the drink was $5, but now you forgot you put a tip down there. They don't charge you for the $5, but they ain't access the tip to about 2 days later. Okay, so you want to make sure that the charge is correct. Make sure you understand you have a receipt, and you remember that you tip somebody and they don't come off till later on. All right, error in math, because I used to have somebody who had fat fingers, and every time they hit the button, they hit the next button, and the total would come out. And so now, hold on. If you use this machine right there, this one's perfect for you, because we don't need these type of mistakes. You're gonna lose this money. This is perfect for you. You got to adapt to that. Make sure that don't make nobody feel like they ain't worth or had a value to do with the job. Adjust to the worker. You the best worker. You got the best customer service. You come in here clean. You're on time. I don't care. Hey, let's make sure we adjust to you so that you can make sure that you keep on doing a great job. But also the error math, making sure that you decrease those errors so that you don't have to go through those things. If your bill is it an error in your bill within 60 days of the receipt make sure you notify them through the mail in writing and keep a copy of the letter. Make sure you send a certified mail as well so they can send you the card back and say somebody got it. So they can't say, I ain't get no letter from you. Yeah, certified mail, somebody had to sign for this. All right. And they have 30 days to acknowledge that letter that you sent in. All right. Within 2 billing cycles, a total up to 90 days, they have up to 90 days, but within 30 days, they have to acknowledge it. We received it. At least we're reviewing it or something. However, they have to acknowledge you and say that they got it and let you know that it's in the process. And they must correct the problem or explain to you why this is a problem. All right, make sure you have all the information. You should have explained this in the beginning. I shouldn't even have to come up here and cuss y'all out. But let's resolve the complaints. Now, if you have a complaint, now don't get all hostile. You got to make sure you do like the other folks. Write a letter. Okay, you got to make sure you put it on documentation because paper documentation speaks louder than conversation. And when you document it, you can tell your whole story and make sure it's, hold on, they have to read this. Somebody else got to, it's the department got to read this. Hey, John, you got another letter. Hey, you got another complaint. Hey, boss, we're going to do with this complaint. Now it says, if you have the written letter, take it to the bank or wherever the complaint you have against, that does not produce desired results. Now, if they go up here, you try to talk it out. If they don't provide you with the desired results, you can write a bank's regulator for assistance. Sometimes that means writing to the FDIC, like the complaint letter on the last page. Oh, well, I haven't been the last page, but this is some of the information you want to include. State the problem. What's the problem? You got these charges on these charges was made on this date at this location. I was not there, or however. Make sure you be detailed. Include your information, your address, name. Make sure you have ways to verify. Provide the complete name and the financial institute, and also document any person you spoke to on the phone. Always ask now, what's your name, sweetheart? They have to identify themselves, get an agent number or something so that you can, hey, this is who I spoke to on this day. His name was Rodrigo, or her name was Jessica. She didn't sound like no Tina to me, but she said her name was Tina. But you can keep document and record. So now your argument is a little stronger. So when you talk with passion, you ain't angry, you ain't upset. You talking with passion. Like I know my stuff right. I got everything right here. I got the information right here. I can verify. I know this wholeheartedly. You can't tell me no different because it's documented. Also include the pertinent information, account numbers, the account types, the products you have, and the home equity, whatever it is. Make sure you document that as well. Important dates and the transaction, where it took place. Take pictures if you have to. Get records. Hold on to your records for at least a year on your bank statements. Okay? Very important. And also lending history. Now, there's a couple acts that also help you against that protects you from those collectors of debt and those who try to that about how they can now stop calling you. You can go to no call list, making sure that they working with the guidelines. Don't call me at 9 o'clock talking about MI. Don't call, and some of these people have the automatic dial where now you got foreigners calling you, got AI calling you, and you don't know what to do. Now you got to go through the process. Take me off your list, please. And if you don't, make sure you report those numbers to the do not call, the federal the information. You can definitely the do not call list. Make sure you add that to the list. Now, oh wow, wait a minute. Oh, my bad. Laws that protect people from fraud or scam. Now, because I use the same Latin save as go move on forward information. But resolving the complaint by writing is most important when you're trying to determine and defend your name and the things that you have. The laws that protect people from fraud. There's the Service Members Civil Relief Act. This is for those members who serve in the military who have been called back to active duty. They may have an open loan and now they're called to the service. Now they can put these loans on hold or deferment so they don't go into foreclosure or into collections. They whatever your banking institution terms are, this will definitely be important to those service members who are called back to service. They also have the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. This is the act that requires lenders to provide you with accurate and timely disclosure of the cost settlement, such as the loan or origination fees, where you started from, what the beginning cost was, how much was the broker's fees, and how much was the title charges. If I don't know how much the tax title, how much to pay in title license, we have a problem. If you don't know how much, okay, why did we get that far? They should have. I'm gonna show you this page here where they have now. When you get this page, they should show you 3 parts. They're gonna show you The interest rate, how much the interest is, how much the total you're going to pay in interest, how much the loan was for, and how much you're going to pay in total. If you don't agree with that line right there, you got a chance to, hold on, wait a minute, wait before you sign. They also have the Fair Housing Act that prohibits discrimination based on the race, color, and things of that nature, the handicaps, and this is all, this is universal. Everybody has to follow these particular laws because you cannot discriminate against a person based on their age, race. Okay, but the Consumer Leasing Act requires clear disclosure of leasing terms so consumers can compare the leases. Now, some of y'all get into these car deals and say, "Oh, I only paid such and such for 48 months." Okay, how much is the total you're paying in those 48 months? You may have a good rate, but is it feasible to pay for something that long that may be decreasing value over that time? And leasing car, if you're leasing, think about that. If you're driving, you leasing, you better make sure you understand the mileage on that lease. Because that's where people get messed up at, the over mileage, driving over the mileage, and that mileage is 75 cents a mile, and now your miles is and now you got to refinance that. All right. Let's go to the protection against lending predators. How do we protect ourselves? Now, you got to make sure you look at these companies and ask these questions when they advertise something on that television. You said it was $99 plus tax. Now, when I get here, it's $169. You didn't qualify. Well, you didn't say nothing about no qualification. You didn't put that information out there. You falsely led me to, you false advertised to me. You led me in the wrong direction. You didn't give me a chance to make the right decision. You didn't give me a chance to, give me all the information. You lied to me. You got me here on false pretenses. Like I went to the store today. You say this is buy one, get one free. I want to buy one. Oh, well, those are in the wrong spot. Well, that ain't my fault right now. At this point, this is what I saw. You supposed to, honor what you advertise. Once I'm done, right? Once you done honor that, now you can take it down. I ain't trying to argue with you, but this is what I seen this is where I come in at. This is where I see it at. This is our manager's fault. Well, your manager's responsible. Thank you for letting me know what the manager's responsible for. So now, can I have the manager, please? Yes, sir. This is what the problem is. It's not about the product, it's about the principle. Because if you fall for anything, you got to stand for something. So now he says, look, go ahead and let them get this for this deal at this moment because there was advertised as that. But from now on, y'all make sure y'all do the work right. However, if you're chastising about whatever, make sure y'all make sure this stuff is in the right place. I'm sorry, I apologize, sir. Now that made me feel a little better. Hey, thank you, I appreciate that. Now I can go back. See, that's when you treat people right. Because the day I locked my keys in the car, I had to go to that gas. I was at that same gas station. So just in case I had to lay, can I use your phone? Because my phone locked in the car. I got to work with and I was nice and sweet to it, so I had to go back to that same gas station. Now I ain't trying to argue with you, baby. If you don't know this, let me teach you something here. Let me learn you something. Because we go in and use them credit card machines and they charge you extra 50 cents talking about them, if you don't spend this much. That ain't, no, that's against the law, brother. You can't charge that 50 cents. You can't tell me how much I can spend on my car. You already, that's already paid for. You pay that in fees. You ain't got that behind. They ain't paying per transaction. He got mad with me. Get out my store. I'm getting out, but don't you know this? You ain't going to jank me for my money. You ain't going to jank me. I go up to the next store. You ain't going to show in town. They got a better selection. But you got to stand up because your money is being put, every dollar you went out there and earned it. You want to make sure you go and appreciate it so it can empower your house. All right. Now you are not giving disclosures listing terms such as the finance charge or APR. They ain't even told you how much going to be interest on this money or this car loan or this house loan. They ain't told you nothing about the APR, the annual percentage value rate. They ain't told you nothing to make the best decision. Now you get the bill and you get the information from the loan company. That ain't sent you the information. Now you didn't pay. Wait a minute, I ain't read it. That's what you signed for because you ain't read the fine print. And also they didn't disclose. So now this contract is void because they didn't disclose this information. The contract is because you had no inkling, so that's why you got to make sure you review any paperwork that you sign, and also be abreast to what you're signing, and make sure that the terms are disclosed to. Because sometimes you're getting things and don't have those. There's the small print. There is no cooling off or waiting period between the time you repay a payday loan and the time you're allowed to obtain another loan. So let's just say, for instance, auto loan, payday loan. You mean to tell me I borrowed $1,000? You want me to pay this back Thursday? I don't even get paid Thursday. Now these terms are you done signed it because you was in such a haste. Did you not look at the term? Did you not go and say, well, you know what? If I get paid on next Thursday, let me make sure I get it where it lines up with that and I can pay it on time. Don't try to put me in debt, trying to get up out of debt. And now it's just a continuous cycle. So once you get behind, it's hard to catch up. All right, what's the next? What next? All right, you can obtain as many loans as you want each year, but you got to make sure that your stuff is in good standing. Lines of credit, they don't give it to you as long as you're showing you been a rapport, you're paying on time, you're paying down, you ain't got no revolving debt. You just making sure you're making the payments on time every month, and you're gonna see increase in your scores, increase in opportunity. Cash is king, but credit is wealth. All right. So next, you want to make sure that if a company threatens you with prosecution criminally for not giving them their money, you make sure you get on the phone with the Ohio Attorney General's office right away. You call Legal Aid Society, you get your lawyer on the phone quickly. Now you got your case. You might be able to pay this bill off and not even have to spend a dollar. Anyway, anyway, before we go, look out for these things as well. Make sure they're not charging you excessive fees. All right. Fees are costs not directly reflected in the interest rate. All right. Because these costs can be financed, they are usually disguised or downplayed on predator loans, fees totaling to more than 5% more on the loan amount that are coming. Okay. So look out for them excessive fees, ask questions. Abusive prepayment penalties. Borrowers may, with higher interest rates and subprime loans, have strong incentives to refinance. So now listen here. When you see that word subprime run, because that's what happened back in 2008 when them subprime mortgages, they started off with a low interest rate, 6%. People was getting houses. Remember, and now 2, 3, 4 years later, that balloon payment done hit. Now you can't even afford noodles to put in the bowl to eat, to satisfy your hunger. Now you got people who now got to go file for bankruptcy. They got the houses going in foreclosure. Now their credit scores is in the slump and can't come back because that's what they ain't got enough to pay off that loan. Oh, it started a whole domino effect. And can I live? Oh, the American dream. Can I just live my dream in America? Because right now the dream that America is having is built on debt. Now I want to keep on going. I don't want to owe nobody. Oh, let's go into the unnecessary products. They selling you stuff that you don't need. No, I just came in here. Oh, listen, I just came in here to order the internet service. I don't need no cell phone. I don't need no smart watch. I don't need no extra charger. I don't need all that. I just came in here for what I need. But now when these are predators when they trying to oversell you. Now you don't know what you're just so happy with the goodies that you ain't even realize that the product is defective. They may pay more than necessary because lenders sell and finance unnecessary insurance on other products along with the service. So now you might, I always want auto insurance, but now I'm selling you on the house insurance because I get a commission or whatever the case may be. But it's an unnecessary insurance because my landlord paid. I paid a housing, what's the name in my lease agreement. Or it's cheaper over here. There's ways that they now make sure you're going for what you get and make sure you know exactly what you are paying for. Loan flipping. Loan flipping is when a loan is being financed or refinanced in several times with a short time. So within a short time. So you got that loan yesterday, somebody done flipped that loan again or another agency or through another broker. And now the guarantee fee income without providing any net tangible benefits to the borrower. So you don't know nothing about it. You ain't getting no benefit for them. They getting all the money because listen, what's happening? You sign your name for that loan. The finance company pays off the people that you got the loan for that you buying the product from. They're paid off. They squared away. Now you're stuck with paying the bank. Your business is no longer with them. Your business is now with the person who financed the loan. So now you got to go in now question these things. No, no, wait a minute. If you disagree, no, no, I don't want to. Let me say something. You can either we got a problem here. Something went right. This is sales. You got a time limit that you got to review your contract and any mistakes that you don't agree with. Hold on, wait a minute. Either let's change these terms or let's get ready to cancel this contract. If you don't want to cancel this contract, let's go ahead and let me talk to my lawyer. Because they got to sit down. Because first of all, they can't just cancel the contract because they make sure because they want to protect you from when if you have to cancel the contract, you don't end up in breach of contract. Okay, meaning that okay, I'm just gonna get your car back, but now you're gonna be in breach of contract and still be held liable for that loan or that contract. All right. So making sure that you understand these certain things. Let's go with asset-based lending, meaning that collateral, meaning that you're going to put your house up or put something that you own, something tangible to approve on this loan. All right. The lender may later encourage the customer to default so the lender can get ownership of that home. So if you don't pay, they might, they make it hard for your interest rate be so high that you can't get the property at your mama house back. Okay. You can't get your daddy's stuff back because they didn't made it so hard for you to get the payments made. The lender, and encourage the customers to default. All right. Steering and targeting. Predatory lenders may steer borrowers into subprime mortgages even when the borrower may qualify for a less expensive typical loan. Vulnerable borrowers may face aggressive sales taxes and sometimes outright fault. Now, they might tell you you're gonna pay this every 2 weeks. Okay, we're gonna take this. We gotta come and see us every 2 weeks. It sounds good in the beginning, but you ain't factored in that you only get paid in a certain amount of time, and you gotta pay your rent. You gotta pay all these bills. Is this economically sound for me right now? That this loan, these terms, do you want to be stuck paying for a car that's but older than you? And it's going to lose its value. And then I look at the numbers. Look what they bought it for, and look how much they're selling it for. Okay, look how much the value of the car is versus how much. Because now it ain't just about the fees. Now they stacked on the profit price. And it sounds so good to you. Oh, it's only $1,000 down. Now, what about that back end deal? And then they say, hold on, pay it, and you got to pay this. Hold on, you got to pay your car note plus your tax, title, and license in a certain amount of time. Hold on. That's now you got to make sure you don't get no pressure on you that you can't face. People paying $900 car notes, and because they got gouged because they the salesman was so good, all he's trying to do is sell a car. He ain't trying to tell you. Hey, when the last time they had an oil change? When the last, before I leave off the lot, who gonna take care of the stuff that these are my as is? You bought it as is like this. You as is should be now ready to go. Make sure it's prepared for me. Make sure it's washed. Make sure it's got the oil change. Make sure all the filters and oils and stuff in there. I shouldn't have to pay for stuff that's after the sale. That's like that's like buying furniture and they ain't come and put it together. Now, if they say it's assembly, it's necessary. Okay, it's my job to put it together. But if you come and deliver that stuff, put it in here right for me. My job is to clear the space out for you so you have room to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you protect yourself, your finances. Make sure you grow in love. Make sure you love in peace, and let's make sure you love in God. Check me out on Facebook, J. King Victor Brown, New Legacy Group, Instagram, Victor Lord, TikTok, New Legacy Radio. You can make sure you hear me. Like I said again, I was practicing today. You're gonna start seeing me now in my element because now you got some accountability and responsibility right in your area and face. If you want to make any contributions in the future to New Legacy, you can do that by Cash App or PayPal. New Legacy LLC on Cash App, PayPal, New Legacy Group at AOL. Next, if you want to do any booking, I have motivational speaking on the list. We also have financial literacy classes going to be available. Also, the leadership development coming up this Monday. The release of the pre-recorded New Legacy Radio show coming up, sponsored by Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. And this Wednesday coming up, Daniel James will be on the show representing University of Findlay, a brother that I'm getting to know. Build for the future, and also go win some championships and build for the future. So we got a lot of things coming up. And also the workout. Let me tell you, we're gonna get consistent, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for working out with me. Thank you for your patience. This week, I got through this week. Let's try to make sure the challenge stays on. Hey, stuff happens, but I want to make sure it's consistent. So help. I'm bringing in some help. They I built this, so now they're coming. So now I make sure it's right for them to, be a part of, and make sure that their visions and dreams are also included. And then it's stability, consistency, and also expansions. So you got to start with process. Got to start with just community engagement. So New Legacy Group AOL, you can give us an email to book. If you want to book with us, you want to book, come on to the show, on the podcast, whatever the case may be, come on and give us an email. Also coming soon, the New Legacy Group's website, the revamped website. I thank you for your patience with that. That way you can get all the information and it's given to you clear cut, and you can make the best decision to deal with us before you sit with us. So let's go ahead and pray on out and pray that y'all go ahead and see financial increase. I'll see y'all later. New day, new life, new legacy. Yes, we can. Yes, we will. And soon to say, yes,